everyone, I am back with part 3. I'm really sorry that part 2 didn't have a voiceover. To all 3 of you who watched this, I am deeply sorry. I posted it, I think, on Christmas Eve, and I wasn't feeling great, and then Christmas Day I barely remember because I ended up actually being really sick. I've never been that sick on Christmas before. I've had colds throughout December, but I was pretty darn sick. I won't go into details, it was kind of grim, but I was not well. I spent most of the day sleeping, and those are the best parts. But I wish I could say it was good. I really don't remember. I woke up in bits and pieces and saw some dappled bits of movies that were on intermittently, but nothing of substance. Usually Lord of the Rings and Harry Potter are both on on Christmas, but I didn't see either of those. They might have come on and I might have slept through them. But I saw bits of Finding Dory, which I thought was awful, because I hate films like that. I hate films where there's no antagonist or anything really against the protagonists. There's just a huge ongoing series of inconveniences that keep cropping up. Oh, you solved this thing, or here's another wall. Oh, you got through the wall, or here's a net. Oh, you got through the net, or here's a tank of poison. Okay, it's not exactly, that doesn't happen, but it's just inconveniences after they've already solved things. It was annoying. Moana came on, I saw a tiny bit of that. I really didn't like the song Shiny. I'm pretty sure that made me feel even more ill than I already was, but maybe I just didn't want to listen to anything. Other stuff came on, I really don't remember. Did my video freeze, or is this actually doing this? Give us a minute. Sorry for that. Clearly I'm still not that well, because I left a 2-minute clip in of me not moving. I don't know if it was because my game froze, which it sometimes does, or if I just started watching anime too long without looking back at what I was doing. Right now we are, for some reason, rewatching Yu-Gi-Oh! It's because we bought decks recently and we've been playing with them and we thought, why not watch Yu-Gi-Oh! We started with Season 0, which I'd never seen before, which I think is infinitely better than the actual series, where they actually do games other than card games. Like, card games are obviously involved. I think those are what really took off and what became popular, which is why they developed the actual series around that. But in that, Yugi's other self, Atom, is actually kind of dark. At least at the start he seems kind of a bit, you're like, he could be evil. You're not too sure. Anyway, let's not get into that. Why are we getting into that? No one wants to talk about Yu-Gi-Oh! Right now. But how were your Christmases? Were they good? Were you sick? Did you sleep throughout the entire thing? If so, same. If not, that's nice. No, I hope it was good. I popped round to see my granddad very briefly, but I was bringing my mum round to my boyfriend's place for Christmas, and walking there was such a chore because I was feeling so sick. That was the longest I was awake, that half-an-hour walk, and it was painful. And then, so we got a taxi back here because my mum's legs are bad and stuff, and I don't know if he couldn't hear me. I was talking really loudly, but he just seemed to ignore me a lot of the time. And every time I gave him directions, he'd say, "Oh yeah, I know, but this way is better." And it took 15 minutes longer than usual, but that way was better. That way was better for sure. And eventually we got outside my boyfriend's house. It's like surrounded by fence, and I said, "Oh, if you just turn left here, that'd be perfect," because it's like just in front of a gate. He looked at me, I think he heard what I said, but just kept driving straight. And so I said louder, "Oh, just drop us off here at the bottom of the hill, please, that'd be great." And he heard that, and he was like, "Here is good, awesome." And that was it. I was like, "Okay, thanks." And then my mum said Merry Christmas, and he didn't say it back. Maybe he was just having a bad day, but I couldn't tell if he couldn't hear me, or if he just, I have no idea. Maybe he's having a bad day. Who knows? My mum tipped him quite a bit though, so that was nice of her. But I was feeling really sick and I was just like, I want to go back home and sleep. Oh yeah, so anyway, this is the, as long as I get the footage to match up correctly, which I hope so, this is the gem store, because I've gone to a few Christmas markety things and even like just jumble sales and stuff, which is like garage sales sort of things. Usually the ones I've gone to are often outside churches and I always went with my gran and stuff, but anyway, that's irrelevant. Anyway, they often have one stall with a lady who doesn't look quite all there and sells all these gems, and you're not sure if they're real, but they're there. They're there. I've gone to a lot of places that are just stores that sell gems that are for like health and luck and stuff. Personally, I don't believe it, but my mum kind of does, because I think she wants to think it will make all of her problems better. I don't know, maybe it's a nice placebo effect, but at least they're pretty, so I threw some in. So, like, wouldn't that be cool if you could choose if your Sims believed in that sort of thing? Like, if we got astrological signs back in Sims 4, like in Sims 3, and you could pick some for your Sims and choose if they believed in it, and so if they found out that another Sim was, I don't know which ones are compatible or not, but if they were one sign and the other person was another, like a Taurus, and whatever doesn't match up with that, and then your Sim maybe believes in it and chooses to find like everything they do annoying, like, yeah, of course a Taurus would do that, and the other person's like, what are you talking about? And choose if they could, maybe they could collect gems and stuff and other Sims could make fun of that. I don't know, I think it'd be pretty neat. There should be more mean interactions that are making fun of more specific stuff. But maybe I'm just a mean person. This is going to be Santa's grotto. If you look at the outside, you can't see right now because I don't have the roof up, but it's supposed to look like a Christmas hat. The walls are white, like the fluffy bit, and then the roof is red, like the pointed bit. I think I tried to stick something on top to make it look like the little ball, but I don't know how well that worked out. But we surround it by presents, and we can pretend that kids line up to go visit Santa and he gives them one of these. Because it's in the Sims world, let's also pretend that parents don't have to pay an absurd amount to go visit Santa and get a gift for their kid. Just pretend it's holiday cheer and all that good stuff. Sorry, suddenly my throat is itchy as soon as I start recording. I would like to focus on telling you about certain things I've done, but I know I flit about from thing to thing too often, and I should really start trying to focus on one thing at once. There's the tree, that's a fine tree. Our tree isn't doing great. We got it way earlier than usual. We got it on Tom's mum's birthday, which is really early in December, the first week, and we normally get it only maybe 2 weeks before Christmas, so normally it's still fine by now, but it's kind of going brown, kind of sunken looking. Tom's mum says it looks like it needs to hitch its breeches up, sort of thing, that kind of thing. But it's doing alright for how long we've had it, and it's meant to be a 6-foot tree. It was the biggest one they had there. Sorry, I thought I heard someone. But I think it might have been slightly too big because it broke the base, the old bit, but then again it was old, the one that we had, but it broke it. So we had to prop it up against a wall, and Tom had to go buy a base because for whatever reason I was out with my mum helping her with something, I can't remember why, but he went and got a base and we put it in, and it fits and it's fine, but it's not taking up much, it's not drinking the water or the tree food it's supposed to be having. So something's gone wrong there. I think it might have been a bit too big for the base. I think it's slightly taller than 6 foot. But who knows? Next year we'll just try and get one a bit later, hopefully, and it will all be fine. But something always goes awry, doesn't it? It can never go to plan. Initially this shop was meant to be a tiny, tiny bakery where you'd buy, you know, the really generic, not generic, sorry, I can't think of the word now, it's left my mind, with all the negative words like generic floating around in there. Where you'd buy your kids or yourself, I'd buy myself just baked goods that look like Santa and reindeer and Christmassy things, and coffee that tastes like gingerbread and has gold sparkles on top, and your friends would make fun of you and say you're such a basic buffalo. Instead it is now, as you've probably already seen, just one of those soap shops. When I was a kid, my primary school would always do tiny Christmas fairs. I'd always decorate a biscuit. But anyway, and they'd always have a section of... all I remember ever seeing that you could buy there is like tickets to tombolas and little gifts that were obviously for parents, but you were clearly going to have to ask your parents for money to buy them. So I'd be like, Mum, I need £5 please. And she'd give me £5 and I'd buy her a mug that said love you mum or something like that. Anyway, and there was always a massive section of soaps and stuff for them, and they were clearly like, it was like labelled his and her gifts kind of thing. Yeah. The reason I don't like that is purely because all those gift recommendations are always quite crap. Like, if you look at gift recommendations for men, it's always like, oh, he'll love whiskey stones and this deodorant that 5 other cousins are going to get, and anything shaped like a wrench. Like, oh yeah, every dude's gonna love all that. That's just gonna appeal to the chromosomes. Is the chromosomes gonna sing in there? Sorry for that like that, because someone came in. I was right, I did hear someone. I can't quite remember where we left off, and I'm pretty sure I was talking about Christmas fairs in primary school. Oh yeah, and like the men's and women's gift recommendations that are always utter rubbish. Have you ever received a really generic, like, and a generic gift that was obviously on a gift guide, like, oh girls love this or dudes love this, and just tried really hard not to show that you know it's been on one of those, but you still can't be ungrateful because someone still got you something, but I don't know. But anyways, yeah, so in primary school there were always those fairs. I probably already mentioned this because it's very pathetic and depressing, but it's one of my favourite memories. My cousin's Christmas fair, which we all went to, unlike mine. That's so depressing. I'm gonna remember that forever and be bitter about it. But yeah, so my cousin's Christmas fair, there was a I have mentioned this before, I remember I have, but oh well, maybe some of you haven't watched a video of one before, maybe some of you aren't people just on my friends list. But there was a lady selling Pokemon cards, and it was clearly taken from, hopefully her kid agreed to sell them and she didn't just think, my child doesn't want these anymore, I'll just get rid of them, they're just cluttering up the house. But I'm slightly concerned that was the case. But she had two boxes full of Pokemon cards, and my cousin and I spent the entire couple hours there rifling through them. And she sold them super cheap as well. I still have them. I've taken care of them. They're all neatly in folders. Well, as neatly as a little kid would have put them in folders. I think it was kind of neat. But all my Pokemon stuff from back then is safe anyway. But yeah, so we put lights around the entire place just to brighten it up, because when I made it night time I saw it didn't look that Christmassy. It wasn't too bright, and I didn't want to just put street lamps everywhere, especially since it's raised up, so we just put those, like, what are they? They're not fairy lights, they're actually dangling bulbs. We put those all around it. I ended up just using 9 to raise up strings of lights onto the rooftops and stuff. Yes, so here we are decorating Santa's hut. That's why I'm going to sit next to him, not on his knee. I always found that quite creepy. I never wanted to see Santa as a kid. I didn't want to talk to a stranger and, like, sit on their lap. Plus I was a pretty big kid. I probably would have pained him. Don't know why we're decorating with flowers. I don't think any kids care to see any flowers, but there you go. Anyway, so while I was editing this video earlier, we've been prepping Silver Tower Warhammer stuff, and we've been making the bases. We tried to make them look like marble. I think it looks more like a glass floor that lightning has struck and it's cracked in the shape of lightning. That's what I think it looks like. And then we've cut out bits of plastic and painted them gold to stick over top, like that's where the proper floor was meant to be, but it's been destroyed over time and stuff. It's pretty cool. It doesn't look as good as I've made it sound. But they're not bad for a first attempt. We think for our next guys we might attempt a cobblestone kind of look. I hope you can't hear people talking in the background. It's been absolutely quiet all day. As soon as I've started recording, people have suddenly been coming in the room and chatting. And thankfully because I've been sick recently, I can still get away with being like, I'm not that well. I am actually better now though, I think. I think I'm good. I just missed Christmas Day, which was nice. Thanks for that, Satan. But oh well. I don't know why I was considering putting another floor down here. Like, it has to be the same boardwalk type stuff. I really don't know why it's raised up on a pier over just a secluded body of water. It does bother me when I stop to think about it. But it looks kind of nice, and I dressed it up to make it look old. Like, there's tons of moss and stuff everywhere. Okay, I have returned again for the third time. There will henceforth be no more interruptions because Tom is sitting guard at the door, aren't you, baby?
I am back from my shower.
Yes.
And I will guard my domain.
In a towel.
In a towel. 2 towels.
Oh, okay, sorry, that's more armour than I had assumed.
They're short towels. If I only have one small towel, I feel like I'm in prison. I've never been in prison, but I hear they only get one small towel.
Do they only get one towel?
Yeah.
Oh, that's cruel.
I mean,
and unusual.
I mean, they get 3 square meals a day and a roof over their heads of being murderers. I think they'll manage.
That's true. For the last few days, I've not had 1 square meal. That's because I've been sick, though. I've told them about that already. They were very interested, I'm sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes.
Anyway, so as I've already probably said twice, sorry about that. This is Santa's hut that we've been decorating. I've sized down a dollhouse just to bolster it a bit. I never thought about sizing down a dollhouse, but it makes for good filler. And we're just cluttering up the table with gift type things that are probably really cheap, and after Christmas they'll break when you play with them too much. Like that plane, that's not a model plane, that's just like made of the cheapest plastic imaginable, and your kid's going to throw it and one of the wings will break off and he's going to be screaming all the way home.
Is this the Christmas one?
Yes.
Oh, are you... Oh, what was that just got placed down? Are you making them do the game you made me do?
Yes, so how many reindeer does Santa have? 8.
8, I
yes.
think you have spot 8.
So there are 8 reindeer scattered about. You just saw me place 3,
Reindeer.
but...
Aren't they beavers?
They're reindeer. But we do move these in the build itself. You don't see me do that part. But when I was decorating the hut, I was like, maybe it would be fun to just stick some reindeer around here. And so what you have to do is, if you download this, or have downloaded it, you have to hunt for the 8 reindeer. You don't get anything for accomplishing this, but you can feel good about yourself and let me know that you did it, and I'll be like, wow, someone actually listened this far in the video to actually bother doing it, and I'll be pretty chuffed. That's what you get out of it. You make me happy. No, I don't know. I could. The first person, the one person who attempts it, I'll build you something.
The one person who will want to attempt it won't have the camping expansion, so they'll be like, there were no reindeers.
No, don't say that. That would make me so sad. I should have just used something that was in base game. And now I feel bad. Damn it. I'll replace it with the bears. Damn it, Sims, get on making base game reindeer content. But yeah, so there's 3 in here, but those do move. I think you've seen me place one other one. Anyway, that robot that we just put down, that's actually a school project that you can complete. I don't think that's even the best version of it. It might be, but I don't know. What was the name of the robot Lisa Simpson built in that episode? The grammar bot.
Oh, I can't remember. All I can remember is Homer saying, Numero dead? Grombro is dead. I can't remember.
I can't remember its
scene.
name. Yeah.
I remember the scene. I don't remember its name.
Now I keep thinking of
Is it
Grenblow.
Funzo or is that a different one?
No, Funzo's the Furby.
Right. Okay.
Yeah, that's a different thing. But yeah, anyway, that robot made me think of the grammar bot. I can't remember what it's called. How could I have forgotten? I don't deserve to live.
I can hear it say its name as well.
I'm only thinking of Funzo.
If you know the name, please leave a comment. We will die.
We will die. We can't Google it for ourselves. We can't right now because then you'll hear me typing. It'll ruin the entire video because my editing is so superb that I don't want to tarnish the video with that. Right here you see me sticking a roof above those two stalls.
Linguo!
That was it! That was his name, Linguo! Okay, if you're commenting that, stop now, or it's just embarrassing for both of us. Linguo, that was its name.
Linguo.
I can't remember what I was talking about, but it was called Linguo. Well done, Tom. You get a pat on the foot. You get to watch my video twice. Anyway, so we stick a roof above these two stalls. Initially I just put tables outside, but I thought it was a bit cluttered and you wouldn't be able to access one of the stalls anyway, so we make it just a little coffee area. Since we turned that bakery area into a soap shop, we turned this into the actual baking cafe area where you can get some eggnog or whatever. I've never had eggnog. I imagine it's disgusting, but maybe not. You ever had eggnog? You haven't, had you? Have we discussed this? We've discussed
I have had eggnog.
You have?
Yeah.
Was it disgusting?
Well, I mean, I was a kid, so I thought it was disgusting.
What's in it? Actual eggs?
I think alcohol and eggs and maybe lemon or something.
That sounds foul. That sounds
It's
Russian.
been a long time. I haven't had it in over a decade.
It sounds like a Russian solution to the freezing cold.
I'd say we should buy some, but it's almost January.
I don't want to try it, really. If I tried it, I'd probably try the watered down Starbucks version of it, because I imagine it's sugary enough that it might not be disgusting. No, it probably just
I
isn't.
don't even see it on the shelves.
No, they have a version of it in Starbucks, but I don't know what's in it. Probably like 5 cups worth of sugar, egg flavouring. I don't know. I really don't know if I want to try it. It sounds awful. If you've tried it, comment and let me know if it's worth dying over.
Okay, Kat.
What?
You've begged for 3 different comments already this
I
video.
need attention. 3 people watch my videos and 2 of them are us. And one of them's... No, it's not my mum. My mum doesn't watch my videos. Maybe one of my friends. Anyway, we're about to go into the slideshow, so I hope you like the Christmas market. If you use it, please take screenshots. I know it's after Christmas, but still. Anyway, see you, bye.